Hey everybody, it's Battalion. I'm back, and I thought we would take a minute to answer a few questions and go over some likes, dislikes, stuff like that with these energy inverters. Uh, it gets complicated, and I'm trying to figure out how to do this video because it's not scripted, but I do want to answer questions. Uh, the first one I was asked, well, if you knew you needed split phase, why didn't you just buy the right inverter to begin with? And that's a good question. It's got a complicated answer. Uh, First off, let's address the first part of that by saying the this is sponsored content, but it's not sponsored by the manufacturer. It's not sponsored by the retailer. It's sponsored by people that support my social media channels. And a viewer sent this to me. This is the first one. And I've always had questions about this one because it literally arrived with damage here on the screen, stuff like that. I always felt like this was a return. It was used. And this one kind of confirms it because if you look here, the Wi-Fi dongle's already installed in this one. It was installed when I got it, whereas this one it is not. It has a plug here, and you actually have to install the socket and the wiring for this. We'll cover that in another video. This one came with magnetic filter screens that go here on each side. This one did not. I've always felt like this one was used in a return, and I've never been able to get support on this one. And this one, the inverter itself, I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. It brings solar in, it charges the batteries, it runs my appliances. It does a decent job. But I always was a little unhappy with the MPPT controllers in this one because they weren't bad, but they could have been better. But at the end of the day, it did what it was supposed to do, so that is what it is. The biggest complaint is I tried everything and we could never get the monitoring to work via the Wi-Fi. And we've covered that several times and we'll cover it again. But I was sent one. And I always knew that I needed something that would do split phase 110 so I could run my entire home. But when people are supporting your channel and they send you something, you make the best of what you have. And I was glad to get this. Well, as many of y'all know, if you've seen my other videos, you know that my sponsor was in town last week, and he had something up his sleeve, and it was this one. Because if you take two of these, you can put them in parallel, do split phase, do split phase 110 or split phase 220, blah blah blah, and I can run my entire house. So I'm very grateful to get it. If I had been buying myself, I would have probably bought a single unit that would handle the split phase and all that, and I wouldn't have to be hanging two of them up on the wall and putting them in parallel. You know, there's other options out there when you're doing stuff like that. But if you are like me, doing the best you can with what you have, sometimes you have to start off with one and then buy the second one. And I get it, and you probably get it too. So I hadn't planned on getting to this project anytime soon as far as putting both of them back up, putting them into parallel and all that, because I've got other problems going on that I have to resolve first. But I unboxed this one not to look at it, and it's like, I better go ahead and put that up and test it because I know for a fact that my sponsor ordered this through Amazon, and if it doesn't work, we've only got 30 days. There's only a 30-day return window through Amazon, and we need to figure it out before that expires. So I'm going to go ahead and try and get this new one up and test it and make sure that it works before that 30-day window expires. And hope that makes sense. Other questions. Uh, well, somebody asked me, well, if you didn't like the first one, why did you get the second one? We've already answered that. That was out of my hands. Uh, and I agree with my sponsor's decision because I already had one. We might as well get the second one and save money where we can, because he's doing this so I can create content, but at the end of the day, it's to help me and benefit me personally and make sure that I have what I need, and I'm very grateful for that. And he knows how I feel about all this, and we've discussed it. And so yeah, under the circumstances, I had to 100% agree with his decision and go ahead and buy a second one, even though I wasn't exactly crazy about the first one. Hope that makes sense. That being said, if they would address a few things, if they had answered a few questions of mine when I was first doing this, I would probably have a better feeling about that company. Well, the biggest problem is I'm not the one that bought it. It was it was bought by a viewer. It was sent to me. So when I tried to get support, I got zero support. To this day, I've got zero support. If there's any problems this time around with this new inverter, I'm going to have my sponsor handle it because he's the one that bought it. He paid for it, and we'll get it took care of. And then we'll see. I'm hoping there's no problems, first off. But if there is, you can bet we're going to talk about it, and we're going to see how they handle it when the actual buyer contacts them. Because I can show you emails and everything else all day long. Amazon won't let me show that on Amazon. Because if they would, it would already be up. But that's why I have two of them. I hope that makes sense. And I know it's a long answer, but in this particular product, it's just been so complicated. There's pluses and minuses to galore. And I want to recommend it. I want to be able to give it a good review, but I've had problems that forces me to be a little cold on the subject. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. Uh, I will let y'all know how this works out, and if the second one, if it is everything that it's supposed to be, then I'm going to tell you, okay, they've changed my mind. You know what I'm saying? Y'all stay safe. Till next time. I'm out of here.